My pastor asked me to help with some of the digital setup at the church today, and I thought I'd talk briefly about the architecture of the divine. The main purpose, historically, has been that you walk in and you feel small before the presence of your God. The Episcopal Church is heavily modeled on the Roman Catholic Church, where a lot of this came from. There's a lot of other conversations that could be had about opulence and growth, but at the same time, it's still beautiful to stand and look at the artistry, the architecture, and the beauty of some of the older churches. The order is formal. The altar almost always faces east as you enter from the west. For some religions, it's facing Mecca. For others, it's facing Jerusalem, the center of most monotheistic religions. When you first enter older churches, you're in the narthex. The narthex is the separation between the outside and the holy. It's usually more at a human scale, and depending on which denomination, there's usually holy water for you to cleanse yourself before entering. Then you enter the nave, which is sort of that holy human aspect, one who comes to listen and receive. So this is usually where all the, let's call them common folk, will come to sit. Then you have the sacristy, usually your first entry. This is often where the baptismal font will be. Then the crossing. This is where the separation between God's people and God's lectures happen. Often a cross sits at and then you're stepped up, still human, but this is where you receive the word. As I mentioned before, towards the east you have the high altar. Here is where you hear the message as translated by the messengers of God. And then I'm standing currently in the crossing, and above the crossing would be the cross, which is usually on top of the building. Then to the west is the entry, and to the north and the south you have the transepts. On the south side is the epistle transept. Here we have a small altar, and to the north side you have the gospel transept. So in the Jewish synagogue, this would be where the Torah is kept. So I'm standing at the crossing of all these places. The different levels actually add to it. So as you come forward, you have to step up to the next level where the choir is kept, or to the chancel. Also, there's usually some gate, very ornate, that separates those two areas, that really separates the messenger from the people. So they are both raised and separated.